Okay, good. So now let's begin. So I have a total of 500 marketing slides to go through. So bear with me. Just only 500 marketing slides for 2 hours. So I would like to give a shout out to Michael and Robert and Harish. Robert is here. He helped host this event, which makes it possible. And big thank you to Harish. He told me about the document standards, the importance of open standards. He shared this experience with me, and which makes this event possible as well. So right now you might be thinking, who is this kid up here talking to you? Well, my name is Huiren. Last name is Wu. So this photo looks a bit nicer than I am, but it's photoshopped. That's why it's yeah. And yeah, Photoshop, not GIMP. Okay, so I'm a student as well. There's a student here as well. He's from Temasek Poly. I'm from Ngee Ann Poly. Yeah. Next thing I want to talk about is I'm a Fedora ambassador. So one of the contributors to Fedora in Singapore. If you wanna contribute to Fedora as well or any other open source projects, feel free to talk to me. I can get you in loop into the Fedora project. And lastly, I'm also a developer. I develop in both Node.js and PHP. And funny thing is that when I go talk with JavaScript people, they would start bashing PHP. Yeah, it's a common thing. It's a common trend in Singapore, I think. But yeah.
So this stack like that you're showing us, you created it or you got from somewhere?
Oh, I created it using LibreOffice Impress.
But it's really 200? Did you say 200?
No. I'm just kidding. It's not 500 marketing slides. I'm just kidding. Okay, so agenda for today. First thing is open standards. What the heck is that even? Next thing is, why should you care? You know, it's a very important question to ask. You know, people always ask this. Why should I even care about this? And next thing is barriers to open standards. And lastly, how can you contribute to open standards? It's a bit difficult, but there's a lot of ways you can contribute to open standards. Alright, so first thing I want to talk about is open standards. So a lot of people, raise of hand, who here know what open standards are? Okay, quite a number actually. So for those who don't know, it's basically like your RFCs. So these are one type of open standards we have. So RFCs back in a long time ago, before the internet and ARPANET, routers, we have routers, but they couldn't communicate. Different brands of routers couldn't communicate with each other. There was no standards, and IEF, Internet Engineering Task Force, came in and set the standards out. So Cisco and other vendors, they followed this standards set out by IETF. Yeah, so they follow the standards, and that is what enabled internet today. So open standards really played a very huge role in terms of our technologies. A lot of things today would only work because of open standards. So, but a lot of people take it for granted, and we don't really appreciate it much. So today it's a day where we celebrate and appreciate open standards. So let's move on a little bit more towards documents. So we have the primary, some people call it the obvious document format, but it's called open document format, ODF, and it started in around 2002, around there, 2002. It was based on Sun Microsystems ODF system. So at first it wasn't standardized as well. So ODF wasn't a standardized standard before they form a group of people who standardize it. So right now we have ODF version 1.3. So just some of the technical details, don't need to we are not going to go too deep about it. And another standard of a general open standard for documents we have is OXML. So Office is Office Open XML. Okay, both of them are based on XML as well. The second one is an initiative by Microsoft. So Microsoft also takes part in document standards, open document standards. But there's a few strange stories about it. I'll tell you more about it. But before we go more into the stories, we are gonna go into why should you care? Why should you even bother about open standards? Well, I raised up an important issue just now about how a lot of things we have today are taken for granted and wouldn't work without open standards. So the first thing I want to say is that things should be standardized. We want our things to work. We just want to plug in our printer and make sure it works on our computer. And these open standards, they enable it to happen. If we want things to work in technology like smoothly and conveniently, we would need open standards. We would need standards to be set out by people and to be open so that everyone can follow these standards. And all these standards, the best thing about all these standards, they are all of them are ISO compliant. Yeah, ISO compliant to make sure that it's in high quality as well. So we have groups of people working hard on all this kind of open standard stuff. And the next point I want to point out is that why you should care is that open standards empowers. So interoperability is very important, and that's what enabled the internet today. Lots of things, printers, keyboards, lots of device drivers. Before that, before we have all of this kind of stuff, you would plug in your printer and you will need to find out which device driver you need to look out for, and you have to go through a long list of people posting about device drivers and things like that, and it's very troublesome in the past. But nowadays, because of standards we have in Wi-Fi, in Bluetooth, in every single small technology, big technology we have, it's what makes interoperability possible. Yeah, sorry for the pronunciation. I'm not very good at pronouncing that word.
Is ODF for ISO standard?
Yes, it's ISO compliant. They are ISO compliant. So is OXML.
So what standard is that?
They have, okay, in ISO you have certain standards set as well. Like the 8601, they have certain standards you have to follow to make sure that it's in an open way, and it would work across platforms. So if you open up certain things in your, let's say, Microsoft PowerPoint, and you open it up in your LibreOffice, it should work. And according to ISO standards as well, there's certain details to ISO standards, but we are not going to go in depth into the ISO standards. It's going to be a bit boring.
Not sure. I think ISO is a standard that most people cannot join.
Yeah.
If you want a copy of it, you're going to pay a lot of money.
Yeah, that's one thing which open standards is important as well, because if you have open standards which have companies and people paying to access these ISO standards, and people auditing for ISO standards, you wouldn't need to pay a single cent to access the open standards which are already set out. Yeah, so what you would be using like ODF would essentially be already ISO compliant. Very easy, and it makes things a lot convenient as well. So moving on, we are going to talk a bit about the barriers to open standards. So there's a lot of barriers to open standards, just like it is for open source. And I'm going to talk about one story that Harish told me. So it's called Can't Go Into the Microsoft Office. It's a pretty interesting story back in 2007 February, when Harish Pillay, one of the Red Hatters, he was caught up by ITSC, Singapore Council for IT in Singapore. He was caught up, and I think the council member asked him to talk to the Microsoft members because they had to file a contradiction. Microsoft had a OXML violation of the ISO standard, and we, Singapore, filed a standard. We filed a contradiction to the to the Microsoft OXML standards. So it was a pretty annoying fight for him, because the entire day the Microsoft representative, he told they were basically trying to delay so that it would be past the deadline, and it was a major, very complicated thing. So one of the things they did was say like that Singapore was the only country which filed for the contradiction, which was not true. Japan, Germany, and other countries also filed for a contradiction to the ISO standard, to the OXML standard that Microsoft had. And there were also other lots of things that Microsoft did to try to delay, like calling the third-party vendors to try to evaluate what was the issue and things like that. But the issue, it was closed at around 7:40 around there p.m. The issue was closed, and they filed the contradiction successfully. But after that, Harish was barred from, he was placed on this Microsoft no visit list. So basically he can't visit any of the Microsoft office. He was placed on the list for a few years. I think he was removed from it recently, a few years ago. But it's a very interesting story how open standards, we have to fight for open standards. It's not just an easy thing. It's not an easy thing. We have it for granted, but we have to eventually fight to make sure that we still have it. It's about maintaining these standards. And but the biggest barrier we have isn't Microsoft. Okay, there's other companies out there who do lots of things as well, but they are also not the biggest barrier. They are not our enemies. The biggest enemy we have is ourselves. Why do I say that? Because we don't have enough people contributing. That's one issue. People always say, hey, a lot of people are working on this project already. There's a lot of professionals working on it. I don't think I'm good enough to contribute to this project. I don't think I can get involved in open standards. But the thing is that we can all contribute. All of us here in this room, we can all contribute to open standards. But I know it's not easy to contribute. I know it, you know it, we all know it. It's not easy to contribute to open stuff, essentially, especially for open standards, because you have to get involved in communities, you have to get involved in certain consortium, but there's a way which you can still help with open standards even though you are not part of these members. Just through conversations with people, just by raising awareness on the importance of open standards, just through small conversations like email conversation, real life conversation over a cup of tea and things like that, we can all do our part and raise awareness for open standards. So we can all contribute to open standards. It's just a matter of, would you want to do it? Okay, so I really hope that you guys would want to contribute to open standards. So right before that, we're going to have a small quiz, and after the quiz we are going to have a very short demonstration. So time for fun. The first one question: which company led the development of Ajax? So Ajax is one of the open technology we had in the 2000s, around the 2000s. So make a guess, which company? I don't have any gifts to give out today, but Fedora DVDs. So which company led the development of Ajax? Anyone knows? Darn, you know it. Microsoft led the development of Ajax. So in 1996, the iframe tag was introduced by Internet Explorer to load and fetch content asynchronously. So surprisingly, unsurprisingly, I don't know which word you would want to use, Microsoft led the development of a lot of open source technologies, but they also sabotaged their own attempts. They also did, because it's a huge company, some of the employees sabotage their own attempts. It's a weird company essentially. They contribute to open source, at the same time they sabotage open source and open standards. So we're gonna have a really quick demonstration. I'm gonna just do demonstration on Microsoft PowerPoint and LibreOffice. So what I'm gonna do is test out. I'm gonna save the file on PowerPoint and I'm gonna transfer it over to this computer, and I'll save ODF files and transfer it on this computer. With open standards, if both of the parties comply by open standards, it should look fine. It should look fine, but maybe then it might not look so fine. So let's give it a try.
The Microsoft XML format, is it users have to save it in that format?
Sorry?
I know Microsoft has a XML format, but I've never actually seen any file.
Yeah, it's
docx, XMLX,
the docx is a XML?
Yeah, docx, also XMLX,
yeah, they are all
so
considered.
the PPTX is also a XML?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know, when I open the LibreOffice, things get jumbled all over the place.
Yeah, this is the problem with XML. It's too complicated to just implement it.
Yeah. So I have both documents here. One is converted in PPTX, one is in ODP, but both are done by Microsoft PowerPoint. So it's right here. It looks well. So just to justify that I didn't do any magic. So the not so good thing about Microsoft PowerPoint is that you still can't do SVG images. LibreOffice can do that. So yeah, you can do PNG. Okay, so I'm gonna test background images, test fonts, test, yeah, basically just the slides. Very quick test. So I'm gonna transfer the slides over here, over to the other side, and see if things works out. It's a live demonstration, no magic tricks here.
Usually it doesn't come out well. I've experienced this numerous times, right? I get PowerPoint,
Yeah.
Then what I opened up is that, well, there are problems here and there.
We shall see if it works so far. So
your slide deck is very simple.
yeah, it's a very simple one, just a very simple test. But if I make it more complicated, it might not work at all. Actually, like some of the parts would just be completely not formatted well. So I'm gonna exit the PowerPoint presentation mode for not PowerPoint, LibreOffice Impress presentation mode, and transfer the data over and transfer over to the PowerPoint slides here. So I'm gonna open up the PPTX one first. Let's see if it works well. So okay, so this is the first slide, and the next slide will be testing for SVG. Okay, it doesn't work as well. Test PNG. Okay, transition seems to work, I guess. Animation. Okay, this other animation. Okay, the other animation didn't work. Okay, it was a spin animation, but it didn't work. It just became a fade animation. I don't know why. So now we're gonna test the words out. So okay, some of the stuff are not working as well. Some of the stuff that work on PowerPoint slides, on Microsoft PowerPoint work on Microsoft PowerPoint, but when I open it up on LibreOffice, it didn't work. There's a particular one with it's a shadow drop back. It's a shadow. It adds shadows. So it didn't. That one didn't work. So let's test the next one. It's testing for font. Okay. It worked okay, I guess. But
PPTX
this is PPTX. This is PPTX. I'm gonna open up the background image is looking fine. Well, just in case you didn't know, this guy is Richard Stallman.
younger version of it.
Okay, so just a very quick one. We're gonna open up the ODP one here as well. Da-da-da, not working. Transition works okay.
So this is what, the second file?
This is an ODP. It was converted on Microsoft PowerPoint. Okay, it just completely breaks. So ODP support from Microsoft is very
So you converted the PPTX to ODP
through
inside-
Microsoft
inside
PowerPoint. Yes. So the animation completely didn't work.
What version of Office are you using?
5.1,
That is
the latest one.
LibreOffice.
LibreOffice.
No, I mean this one. The
Oh,
PowerPoint.
20. It's not the 2016 one. It's the 2013 one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. So the animation completely broke on ODP. So let's test out the other one. I expect it to break. It's broken as well. It's not working. So test words. The words are not working very well as well. You can see the formatting. It's off. Yeah, you can see the formatting is off. I'm not doing any magic trick here. I'm not doing any magic trick here. Just to confirm. Shadow became bold text. Shadow drop back text became bold text. And font looks fine, I guess. But when the font spacing is broken. The font spacing is broken as well. So you can see the background images doesn't is okay, it worked, great. It's a bit weird. Okay, it worked fine. So you can see that the ODP support from Microsoft PowerPoint is not very good, but whereas from LibreOffice, the support from LibreOffice to open up PPTX is pretty well done, I guess. So we're gonna do one more test on this laptop, on this Microsoft PowerPoint laptop. We're gonna open up the ODP files that I've saved in LibreOffice. So real quick one. Again, no magic trick. It's completely real. I don't know what the results were beforehand. So yeah.
Came to a conclusion a long time ago. The only way to view PowerPoint slides properly is to open it in PowerPoint.
Yes.
Especially if you got notes.
Okay, so
Haven't seen, the
okay, so yeah. Okay, so right now you can see it's completely broken. It's completely wrecked. Yeah, the thing just went totally off.
So what file is this?
This is in ODP through.
You copy from there to here?
Yeah, it's a different file, but this one tests for more of SVGs, and it tests more on custom images as well.
What does it look like on there? Can you show?
Okay, I'll show you the slide that it's supposed to look like. It's one of the False Asia slides that I've done up. Okay, so it's supposed to look like this, but it looks like this here. Okay, next slide. And next slide, the transition is okay. But there's some issues with the color, I guess. The calibration is okay. The laptop color calibration is okay. It's just for this particular.
Is it SVG?
These images are PNG. I expect SVG to be completely broken. Okay. So other than the first slide, which was completely broken, the color is a bit different as well. Okay. So SVG couldn't load at all because there's no support for it. SVG not loading. SVG not loading. Okay, you can see the text as well. It went out. It went outside. That was not supposed to happen as well. So I guess the support from Microsoft, the support from LibreOffice in terms of open standards is better. as compared to support from Microsoft PowerPoint. Yeah, so this is a very important issue I would like to raise here as well, because if you really want things to work across platforms, we really need to work together. We can't just be different people. We need Microsoft and all the open source communities. We should work together. We can't shove each other aside just because of the past, just because of the things that happen. If we want everyone to enjoy open standards, we want the convenience, the interoperability of open standards, we need to work together. Okay, there's no doubt to that. So that's it for my presentation.
Huiren, can you show this? Can you run through this slide deck?
Sorry?
The one that you show, right? Can you run through the slide deck on your...
Yeah, sure. I'll run through it briefly. So just running it through quickly.
Did we see all this on the PowerPoint? No, right?
No. Some of the SVG is broken. SVG, there's no support from SVG. The first slide was broken as well, and some of the stuff are quite broken. So this is another SVG image. But for the common stuff like animations, some animations, and some slide transitions, it was fine. It was fine. But but generally, so this was the question that was supposed to appear up, but it just went full length. It just went full width on Microsoft PowerPoint. Alright, so that's it for my presentation. I hope I hope you guys have learned something from this and enjoyed the demonstration and look at how we should actually try to contribute to open standards and things like that. So if you I'm representing Fedora, so feel free to follow us. We got events coming up as well. Fedora Release Party 24, which is gonna happen in June, around June. There will be cakes and pizzas again. So yeah, we'll be having some events, upcoming events. Follow us on Twitter or Instagram as well. Yeah, we'll post up some updates. So yeah, thank you very much for coming down today. Thank you. Any questions?
I think you just joined.
Yeah, he's here just for pizza.
Right after you ended.
I know all the Fedora things, so how is the
You didn't talk about Fedora.
Oh, I've not really tested on OpenOffice yet. Yeah, so that should be something we can explore in the next year as well. So next year we could probably call for more people and we can explore into OpenOffice. We can explore into some of the niche text editors as well. There's some niche editors, text editors, which can do very good math, not the METH, but you know what I mean, mathematics. Yes, there's some mathematics formulas which can be done on these certain text editors, and when you save it on this format, it kind of not works on the other editor. Yeah,
they're not talking about LaTeX.
Yeah. There's LaTeX. There's a few other editors as well.
LaTex you have to compile. So you just need a text editor, type in all the commands.
Yeah. We can explore into that for next year. Yeah.
Of like OpenOffice and LibreOffice, since LibreOffice is that sort of built on the OpenOffice.
They are sort of.
No, they're fork, I believe.
They are sort of related in some ways, but the source base code has changed a lot since it has changed a lot.
One is run by Apache Foundation. I don't know what happened in the history. Basically, Oracle bought some microsystems.
Yeah.
And then somehow piece off all the other vendors, which include OpenOffice.
Yes.
And so next thing they opened up, is it LibreOffice Foundation? What's the foundation? I don't remember.
It's
LibreOffice is
There's no foundation. What's that?
OpenOffice is Oracle.
yeah,
No,
it's
LibreOffice is there a foundation right now?
Yes.
yes.
So there's a foundation, and then next thing Oracle said they don't want to have anything to do with OpenOffice anymore. Then throw it to Apache Foundation.
Yes.
So
Yes.
now you have run by Apache Foundation. The other one, all the Linux distributions, which they sponsor the LibreOffice Foundation and include LibreOffice. So I don't know who's including OpenOffice nowadays.
I think Ubuntu is Ubuntu.
LibreOffice.
Sorry, I heard wrongly.
So I think the answer to the question, I think there are now two forks, right?
Yeah, they are a bit different.
What I remember was that the OpenOffice part was that they pissed off some people and then everyone quit and they say, hey, we should build on the OpenOffice and we start a new one. So they call it LibreOffice and they released it. It's more
But
developed, like some sense.
The source code has changed a lot already, so it's quite different now.
Are the licenses the same?
Sorry?
For LibreOffice, I don't know the software license.
Yes, I
Is it
think they are.
IGPL?
They should be the same, right?
I think they
We
are.
could.
Apache
Pretty
license?
sure. I would bet a beer, but not my house.
So this Fedora event, you're going to do where?
Sorry?
You're
For
going
the
to do a Fedora 24 launch where?
24 launch would probably be held in more of like an institute, probably Neon or some other institute as well. I'm trying to, if it's very difficult to hold it in Neon, I'll try to contact other
So you're going to
institutes.
announce here? The Twitter and the Facebook.
Yeah, I'll announce more. I'll bring up more details.
Instagram, not Facebook, sorry.
Yeah, we'll announce more details when we have confirmed all the DVDs and things like that, and all the cakes and pizzas. Yeah. Any more questions?
LibreOffice has all the licenses. So the base license is MPL, Mozilla Public License.
Oh.
But its secondary license GPL, LGPL, and Apache license.
Good.
Wow,
You're
there's a
talking
lot
about
of open
LibreOffice or
source.
Yes,
OpenOffice?
it's LibreOffice.
LibreOffice.
Primary Office is Mozilla license?
Yeah, Mozilla,
Yeah, that's the
Mozilla
main
Public
one.
License, MPL.
So OpenOffice started off with a Mozilla license?
No. It was originally by Sun Microsystem,
No.
and
Yeah, but
It
what was
was-
the license? Is it GPL?
Open.
now is I'm
No,
not
I mean
sure.
When Sun released it as OpenOffice, was it GPL?
When they released it that time.
Probably LGPL.
Okay,
Yeah,
LP
probably-
GPL, so how did it become Mozilla? So they had developed some new pieces, right?
Sun
No,
Microsoft
it's-
original Mozilla license.
Sun Office? No,
Before-
there's a
before
Star Office, right? Star
Yeah,
Office is
sorry, Star
proprietary.
Office is
Star Office, there's no source
when
code.
they open up that time is MPPL. Then after the library came in, it's become LGPL. If I understand, because in the days where I was with Turbo enough, we are using Star Office. We bundle inside.
Star Office is a proprietary product, so there's no source code.
They release up. Yes, they
But
release.
that became OpenOffice.
That was in 1990, 98, 99, around those times.
So that time there wasn't an OpenOffice.
No, not yet,
There
not yet.
wasn't-
So
not
there
yet.
was a Star Office with source code.
Almost.
Almost community
Then it
certain
was-
part. The
It was a
library.
Mozilla license.
Yes, it started with that. Then very shortly they changed to LGPL because in Turbo Linux I was running for Apex. We actually bundled Star Office. And of course we started to put in VMware in those days. But I'm no longer with Turbo Linux, sorry. I'm also a Fedora ambassador.
The terms, my son put in a Star Office in a Solaris.
Your senior.
So you have a Solaris server with Star Office inside.
Yeah, Solaris was great.
The only problem was that the Star Office version was way behind the OpenOffice version. So you might as well go and download OpenOffice.
LibreOffice is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Even now I was forced to use Mac because of certain stupid Apple's thing that I need that license to compile. But I'm still using LibreOffice, it's good. Anything is not compliance, I just make sure it's PDF and everyone have it.
The only problem is that I view a lot of PowerPoint slides and I know it doesn't work. It doesn't work very well.
Convert to PDF.
yeah.
Do it as like you plain and simple.
How do you convert to PDF unless you
Uh,
have PowerPoint?
Just press
Use
the export.
LibreOffice
Yeah,
and
both of them can.
No, it doesn't display well. It doesn't display well. If the display is messed on the first way compared to
No.
PDFs, it's the same result.
Yeah, but if you have created it on LibreOffice,
No,
you
those
can.
slides don't belong to me. They're created by other people. I'm just looking at
Oh, Oh, okay. That
I'm just a
would,
viewer. I'm not even trying to edit. I'm just
Send
looking.
you in PDF.
yeah. Ask
Tell
them to
them
send you.
to PDF.
I submitted all my assignments in PDF.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
In the real world, right, you have to work with Microsoft Office formats. And one of the things of open standard is that if everything is interoperable, you don't even need Office license anymore. Then that's a big cash cow. No, seriously, Office is a big cash cow. Why would they want to make it so easy to interoperate with other software? Then no need to buy more, right?
That's why they don't do it.
Microsoft has been selling Office as a subscription, right? They want you to pay annually. So what's the point of paying if you use something that's fully compatible for free?
Well,
The idea we should find.
well, yeah. That's the issue here. If we get people to be aware of these kind of issues that we face, that we already know, and people will start talking about it, and when we get more people to start talking about it, then we get more awareness, and when all these things comes in together at one time, at a certain point of time, Microsoft would one day push for open standards as well. Probably one day, I don't know, maybe before I die, maybe after I die, I don't know.
Being open doesn't mean that it is free, right?
Yeah,
You need to
it's
pay for
library.
the license because you need developers, you need to feed them to do the job. So it's just a standard that's being open. So it's not really much of a concern about paying or non-paying. It's we need to interoperate in that sense.
Okay, any other questions? If not, I guess we can start cutting the cake.
That's good.
Alright.